Hello, everybody, and welcome. Everybody's going to start coming in now. Welcome back. I know it's been like a week since I've been here. I'm going to tell you all about it. Don't worry, just in case you feel like you missed anything. Hello, Allie. Hey, Mickey. How are you doing? Hi, Jill. Welcome. So I've got a couple of, I've been doing some crafting, so I'm going to show you the crafting. We're going to try to catch up on our temp along sal because I'm behind on February, I'm behind on March, and I haven't started April yet. So we're going to take care of all of that tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to take care of all of that. I'm going to answer some questions from you guys. I'm going to tell you about what happened on Easter because it was crazy, like majorly freaking crazy. Okay. So let's finish saying hi to people. Hello, Deanne. Welcome. Hey, Crystal. No problem, Amanda. Do your thing. Hi, Chantel. Welcome. There's Crashly. And yeah, I love this big twist yarn. Honestly, it's probably my favorite value yarn, even over the Red Heart. It's so much softer than the Red Heart. I love it. I just wish it came in more colors. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Hi, Jerry. Okay, so Crashly had a question, and I should make her wait, but she doesn't do very well with that. So I'm going to show you. So a lot of you guys have already seen this. So Crashly was asking in Rebecca's live, who just went before me. Most of you were there, you know, about the difference between ice dyeing and fabric dyeing. And I wanted to show her a couple of examples. So Crashly, this fabric was an ice dyed fabric. Now, it is not coming up true on camera. Let me turn off my big light and see if that gives you better. No, it's still not coming out very good. This is much brighter in person than what it's showing up on camera. But you can see here where these little splotches and things are. That's where the fabric was folded. And so as it got ice dyed, oh, it looks good over here on that camera. As it got ice dyed, that's where you kind of got less of the pink and more of the pink. So it gives this really cool effect. It's super bright. I love this fabric. This is not one that I did. It's from a company, I think, that doesn't do this anymore. It doesn't dye fabric anymore. Let me see if I can put that back on the wall. So that's now hung up on my wall. Waiting is a cuss word. Yeah, I know. I know how you feel about it. Hi, Dawn. No problem. What you eating for dinner? There's Robert. Hi, Tia. There's Dawn Loves Diamond Painting. Yeah. So they folded it, right? So there's that. That's one example. Now, I have only done what I call jar dyeing. So basically, you take a mason jar or a container or something along those lines, and you use the liquid RIT dye. And then you fold it up. You kind of, so like when I do this, you get it wet, and then you kind of just scrunch it up like this. You don't want it to like actually be folded over on itself, but you just scrunch it up, and then you stick it down in the jar in the dye in water. And with jar dyeing, you do it in hot water. And so this is one that I did for my Grinch that I was supposed to work on in January that I didn't work on in January. And so as you can see, both sides look very different. And with this one, I started with a very light lime green dye, and then I put it into a darker green, more of a spring green type of a dye. And so that's how I get these two very different colors. So this one is actually double dyed. So that is what jar dyeing can do. And that's a pretty bright green that I went for there. It's very Grinchy. How long do you have to let it sit in the ice dye? I have not done ice dyeing yet, but basically until the ice melts all the way through, I'm waiting for it to get a little bit warmer, and then I'm going to try some ice dyeing. I kind of ran out of time last year before I did it. So like I said, I've basically been doing the jar dyeing. And then this is my most recent start. And I dyed this fabric as well. Now it's just a very subtle tan colored fabric that I dyed, but you can see you get the modeling here where it's a little bit lighter. So, and then that's the back of it. which is actually pretty neat. I'm pretty proud of the back of this one because usually I have threads like everywhere. But yeah, so that's what jar dyeing can do. And we are going to be jar dyeing at the retreat. So if you want to learn how to do that, we are going to be doing that at the retreat. That's going to be a class. Shh, don't tell nobody. So anyway, I'm going to turn my light back on now. I usually in the jar will dye it for anywhere from 20 minutes to like an hour. I've let it sit in there for 2 hours because I forgot about it. You know, so you can do different things with it. Olivia and Lee Studios is the Etsy shop doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay, let me make a note. Let me find my Post-it notepad down in here and write this down real quick so I don't forget. Rocky Horror Sal is the Olivia and Lee Studio on Etsy. I'll give it a look-see. Thank you for that, Halloween. Okay. You haven't officially signed up, but you're so tempted. I know. So I've got that one that I just showed you guys was my most recent start. It is a gift, a birthday gift for my best friend, and I cannot wait to show you when it is done. And then I'm almost finished with the Sense and Sensibility Sal. I kind of lost my stitchy bug there for a little bit, and after part 3 released, and so I've started part 3. So that's where we're at so far. So part 3 is pretty much this bottom section down here. So I'm getting pretty close on that. If I would sit down and work on it, I could probably finish it in a couple hours. I'm kind of sad to see this one go because this has definitely been my favorite Sal ever that I've done. And I've done a lot of Sals. So that is what that one looks like. Those are the 2 main ones that I have been working on. Since I have seen you guys last, I have made a spring wreath that's hung on my door. I didn't want to pull it off, so I'm sorry that you didn't get to see it. I could probably take a picture and post it somewhere. You want to do it with a glow-in-the-dark color, so you won't be able to gauge by color intensity. Yeah, I've never done the glow-in-the-dark, so I thought that was a pretty good Western scroll color, right? I thought it was a very good tan, neutral tan color. And it took, I had to do the dye. I think I mixed it twice before I got the color that I wanted. The first time it was too dark. So I poured it out and started over. Hello, Samantha. Welcome. Okay. So the other thing that I've been working on is, if you guys watch my FlossTube videos, you know that I have a little backdrop that I've started doing in the last year. And so I have been working on a bumblebee theme. So I think I've shown you this. I got the milk bottle at Target and it was already yellow. And then I got a Cricut. So I did buy a Cricut and I used just black vinyl and cut those out and placed them on there. At the time, I didn't have the right transfer tape. I had the ultra strong, and so none of this was coming off. So all of this is hand pieced with tweezers, which is why they're all a little wonky, but I kind of like it. I think it's fun. And then I purchased this thinking it would be bigger, but it's this really cute little bee skep thing or honey pot, whatever you want to call it. It's got a little flower on the lid and then the little honey wand that comes with it. So I thought it was super cute. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger than it actually turned out. And then this last weekend, some of you have seen this. I got this one done. I got this one done. And I got this one done. So all I need is, I've got to find some ribbon so I can make my bows and things for this. But those are some of the things that I have been working on since I've seen you last. Get those secured over there. And now we are going to work on our blankets. And we're going to catch up. So this is the January block. It is completely finished. So that is what January looks like. And this is for our Temp Along Sal that Rebecca and I are hosting. And if you want to jump in, it's not too late. You got some catch up to do, but well, I do too. So can't really say anything. This is February so far. So I made it to February 18th, which is what this represents. So I just have to do the last 10 days of the month. So this is where we're going to start. And then I'm going to show you guys March. This is where we ended. Okay. And we'll work on that, hopefully get that done because there's only like 6 or 7 days left. And then if we have time, we'll start April. So last week, oh, hello, Phyllis. How are you? Charcoal. So last Wednesday, I went to the eye doctor. Now, I have not been to the eye doctor in too long. I'm not going to tell you how long because it's kind of embarrassing. Because I hadn't noticed my vision wasn't really changing. And so I wasn't having any issues. I didn't figure I would really need to go to the doctor if I didn't have any issues. But here about the last 6 months or so, of course, right in the middle of COVID when you couldn't go to the doctor, I've noticed that the scratch or the reflective coating on my glasses is starting to peel off. So people that have glasses, you know, when you've had glasses for several years, and that reflective coating peels off, it's like my glasses are always dirty and it is making me crazy. So I was like, you know what? Uncle Sam's giving me a little extra money this year. We're going to go to the eye doctor. I still have to make a dentist appointment, go to the dentist to get some stuff done. And so I went in, and of course we changed both our vision and our dental insurance. So the last vision provider is not the one that I've always had since I moved to Dallas, is not on our insurance. So I had to choose a new doctor, and he was awesome. His name is Dr. Bob, and I went in. It was amazing, you guys. Like, I'm not even going to lie. We got all the stuff done, and he even took the time to ask me if I had questions. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. So I went in, I picked some new glasses, which I can show you guys. I did take a picture. Please ignore my silly look in the picture, if you will, because I can't actually see anything. So I don't know how well you can see that, but that's what the new glasses will look like. They are black frames, similar to what I have now. But I thought they looked good on my face, fit pretty well. I'm still waiting for them to actually get here because, you know, I'm blind as a bat. And so they always have to send them off and get them shaved down and, you know, do all of the fun, the coatings and all of that stuff on them. And so I'm just waiting for them to call me. I'm expecting that call any day now. It has been officially a week today. So they did all that, and then they took the picture of the inside of my eye because we do have a family history of glaucoma. And so that's one of the things they have to do to make sure that I'm not developing any issues. And then they dilated my eyes, and they put these drops in now. And instead of doing that puff of air, and I think I've got a bit of a sensitivity to those drops because my eyes were itchy and watery for 2 days. And so when it was time for me to go live last week, I was starting to develop a headache. Everything was super bright still. I couldn't see details, so I couldn't crochet. I couldn't cross stitch. I couldn't craft pretty much at all. So I figured it was better for me not, maybe over just a little bit, not to try to sit here and just talk and to have something to do with my hands. I thought was probably a better option. So I took last week off. Thank you guys for your patience and understanding on that. But yeah, so got new glasses, waiting for them to come in. I still have to go to the dentist, and I've talked about this before. I'm kind of terrified of the dentist. I had a really bad experience as a child with a very rough dentist, and I had to get a filling, and he started drilling before I was numb. And so as I did, as all kids would do at that point when somebody is hurting you, is you jerk away. Well, then he accidentally cut my gum with the drill. And so then I was bleeding and crying and in pain. So yeah, I've got kind of a little bit of a fear of dentists, and I know they're not all like that. So if you're a dentist, please don't be offended or anything. But yeah, so I only go if I have to, and I now have another cavity, so I have to. So I'm trying to work up the nerve to go ahead and set an appointment and go do that, because I know I have to get it taken care of. But at the same time, my anxiety is already high, and I haven't even set an appointment yet. So, yeah, that's where we're at there. Now, I'm going to ask how everybody else's week has gone. Any kind of news that anybody has, not our Wednesday wins yet, but just anything fun happened this week. I know Crystal has been doing, she's hosted a couple of the late night craft sessions, and I think we were talking about doing one with our crickets as well. I mean, everybody's welcome, but we'll probably be using the crickets, which you can hear in the background. I think that's the only time we needed charcoal. Yep. So the charcoal's going back in the bag. I literally have been storing these in one of those like giant reusable shopping bags from Marshall's. Surprisingly works really well. Let's see. Halloween says she got up to March done, and you'll catch up the first week of April. Yeah, we're only 7 days into April. That's, not very long in the scheme of things to sit down and catch up. So I think if I do it now, instead of waiting until we get to the middle of April, like I have been doing, I'll probably have a better chance. Jerry says, I'm OCD about dirt on my glasses. It drives me nuts. So yeah, it is really starting to bother me, especially the last couple weeks. So I'm just like, listen, I got to get new glasses. Allie says she hated the puff. I hated the puff too, but with the way my eyes reacted to those drops, I may have to do the puff because super irritated. Emily still has her heavy plaster cast. They want her in it for another week, and then she'll go into some kind of splint. Oh my. Although a splint is better than a cast. I will say that. And they're probably being cautious, very cautious. Yeah, Crystal's doing another one. I think the next one is the 24th. Is that correct, Crystal, of April? I won't be able to come to that one because that is our DFW cross stitch retreat weekend. So I will be at retreat that weekend, and I might be able to pop in for a little while, but I'm staying up at the best friend's house for that because she's only 25 to 30 minutes from the retreat location, to where if I came home every night, it would be about an hour and a half for me to drive. So we're just going to cut out that, and I'll stay at hers. So I'll try to come in, but I probably won't stay for very long this time around. And Amanda says she accepted a different job at work. Still will be doing medical coding. Very nice. Did you also accept a raise with your new job? Because when they move you, those are things you should do. I will say I have gone down the TikTok rabbit hole. It has been a thing. Yeah, it's been a thing. Crystal, let me do that. And then if you want to put the link in, you are more than welcome. Apparently the kind of break is very touchy. Okay. Yeah. So Zoe, my niece, fell, and she was mopping the floor at the kitchen a couple years ago, and she fell and she broke her ankle at the growth plate. So yeah, girlfriend was in a cast for quite a while, had to have surgery, put pins in, things like that. So yeah. Now I am enjoying TikTok, to be real honest. I haven't found the bad side of TikTok yet. I know it's coming, and I'm kind of trying to brace myself for it. But the videos that I've been watching are pretty awesome. I've talked about Call Me Cat. I've talked about, well, I don't know if I have talked about it. I found a couple of ones that follow like police dogs or dogs that are training to be service animals, which I really enjoy because it shows you some of their training. They talk about it. They answer questions, things like that. Some canine dogs. I found, I think they call it Celtic TikTok, where they like sing a lot of Irish and Scottish music, which you guys all know that I enjoy. Yeah, I've kind of gone, I have not yet searched for crafting TikTok because I know once I go there, there's no coming back from it. So, and I do not have time to add another social media. I already suck at the social medias that I do have. So yeah, I'm like, no, you cannot start a TikTok channel. You can't do it. I mean, don't do it. Yes, Phyllis, TikTok, I'm telling you. I wish, but no raise since it is technically a job lower than my current one. Oh, that's a bummer. But if you're getting paid the same amount for a job that's lower, that still works. Jeremy and Crashly have crafting TikTok. See, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I'm going to resist as much as possible. Crystal over there asked us not to be enablers. I denied that request, as did Amanda. I can't stop being an enabler, but I can stop myself from being enabled fairly well. So we're just going to avoid that side of TikTok because it could be bad. Could be real bad. Allie says she's got TikTok. She hasn't been on it though. Service animals are fascinating. Yeah, they have a lot of really cool stuff on there. I watch a couple of people that are just super encouraging. You know, they have really good messages about taking care of yourself and reminding yourself that it's okay to say no to things, because that's an issue I have for sure. Things that I have to work on, reminding yourself that just because you're having a bad day or a bad week doesn't mean you have a bad life. Things like that. And then, of course, I watch just a couple of the funny ones where they'll, you know, do little skits or different things like that. So, yeah, the TikTok has got a hold of me. It is what it is. Okay, I'm real glad I probably should have paid attention when I did that. All right, so we are going to be stitching with a whole lot of grape tonight, just so you guys know. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of grape. Here we go. There's Crystal's Facebook group, and that will lead you to her crafting Zooms that she does on I think it's once a month for the all-nighters. It's kind of been what it is. And she's got some really cool stuff. That is her Facebook group to her channel. Just 1 month. I need just 1 month of no enabling. I don't know that we can do that because we're just not built that way, Crystal. I'm sorry. We find cool stuff and we want to share it with our friends who also think it's cool, and it's all just downhill from there. I mean, that's how that works. Phyllis is easy at being enabled. You know, Phyllis, I think you probably do a pretty good job. I'm easy at not being enabled because I don't have the budget for it. So even when I see stuff, I like have to wish list it because I can't always just be like, yeah, sure, 200, no problem. I can buy a new chair. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm really looking at that gaming chair. I'm going to try to see if my boss will buy it for me at work, because I'm having another flare-up of my sciatica. And yeah, I think it's my chair at work, because it started yesterday at work with a no warning. and got to the point where I could barely stand up. And yeah. So to be fair, if I get the gaming chair that Rebecca got and Robin loves reading and several other people, it's actually cheaper than the one that I have now. So now the boss is on vacation. I may just buy it. But I will, pass it my boss at least. Make sure it's okay. Because, I spent a lot of money this week on shirts, work shirts for several people, but still. Anywho, Crystal's already bought 2 pens and about to get Animal Crossing. Oh, you went down the Animal Crossing rabbit hole. That's why you ain't got no more need to be enabled, because that's fixing to be an obsession. I do not play Animal Crossing. I'm not really a games kind of person. I have Farmville and one of those match 3 games, and then you build a mansion or whatever. I have one of those that I play every now and then. Outside of that, my favorite game to play on the computer is literally Mahjong. But y'all, I am a fool for some Mahjong. Match some tiles. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm not a gamer per se, but I do have my little things that I like. Crystal, I would have to break my phone, laptop, and tablet not to be enabled. Exactly. So Amanda loves the gaming chair. Your sciatica saw a new chair. I'm telling you what. Because right now, sitting in this one, I can feel it, but it's not hurting nearly as bad. Now, this is a new chair that I got for Christmas. That's a very comfortable chair. It had really high ratings. But those gaming chairs are made to be sat in for hours and hours at a time. So I'm thinking that may be the way to go instead of an office chair. And we do have to replace some chairs in the office because it flooded when we had the chillpocalypse back in February. My office flooded. We had about 3 inches of water throughout the entire building. And so several of our chairs, because that water came from the ceiling and it came down, a lot of stuff got wet. Several of our chairs were fabric chairs, and so they are not salvageable. So we're going to have to replace them anyway. So I may kind of see if he'll let me move mine into another office, because there's nothing wrong with it, and perhaps get a new chair instead. I'm gonna work on my presentation of that, but that's kind of my goal. Okay, so we're about halfway through. I'm going to read some comments. Amanda says she's down for weekday chats. Phyllis says, oh, I didn't need to join another Facebook group. Are you heading up? No, I'm not hosting the cross-stitch one. That is one that the DFW ladies are hosting. I found that one this time last year. It was right as the pandemic started. I found the DFW cross-stitching group and found out that they were going to be hosting a retreat. Well, it was supposed to be last April, and then, of course, we all know what happened. They have rescheduled it 3 or 4 times, had to move locations because the hotels are still at half capacity right now, and the location that we had wasn't big enough at half capacity for everybody that was already signed up. So they moved it to a bigger hotel, or a hotel with a bigger ballroom, I should say. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've got to start packing and deciding which cross stitches that I'm going to take. I think I'm probably going to take ones that I can finish. And then I'll take one that is going to need several hours worth of work, just in case I do get those other ones finished. But I do know from my Saturday stitchy group, a lot of times I get to talk in and I don't get a lot of stitching done. So I may not have that issue anyway. And then they'll be doing, different raffles and prizes and things like that. So if you do want to attend the retreat that I am hosting in October, that's the one in Hamilton, Missouri in October, we do have some spots open. So feel free to grab your friends, all of that kind of stuff. Those signups are still going on, and let me know. We have had a couple people join. We had several people that backed out. So if you would like to go, you are more than welcome to join us. And I can give you more information in a private chat. Or there's a video on my channel about the retreat. So Halloween says, my kids enabled me to play with Animal Crossing because I'm the one who started the island. So I'm the one who has to help the progress. I don't know enough. I kind of understand what you're saying. I just don't know enough about it. To be sure, like, I understand what you're saying is you have to help them do things, like do tasks and things, I believe. Samantha says, I also bought a gaming chair. My mom wanted her sewing chair back. Fair. That's fair. Halloween says, just make sure to use the magic words OSHA and ergonomics. Well, I work for a small company, so while we do have some OSHA regulations, because of the amount of employees we have, we don't have to follow all of them. Phyllis says her sciatica has been bothering her too much sitting. Yeah, I think that's what mine is I haven't been doing my stretches and things like I should be. And I think it's starting to catch up with me. Robert says, I did, you played Mahjong too. You love playing. Yeah. I played Mahjong for many, many years. Crystal says, I currently borrowed the Switch from Kiddo, so now just need the game. Mahjong is really easy. You're literally just matching tiles. And you can't, because of the way they're stacked, you can't like get one that's under another one. You have to unstack them from what you're able to access. Yeah, exactly, Amanda. Zero promises you won't be enabled at the retreat. Like, it's dangerous at any retreat. Okay, so let me tell you guys about what happened on Sunday. So I'm sitting here chilling about 5:30 on Sunday, having my Easter fajitas because I could. And I'm reading a book and eating my food, and I hear the helicopter outside, which is not unusual because we live on the flight path between two major hospitals. And I also live next to two major highways. And so if there's an accident on one of those, then the life flight has to be called in for some reason, which doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, they'll come out. So we hear them, but usually they just pass over. They fly over. And this one was hovering and circling. And I'm thinking, okay. So I stepped out my sliding glass door to see, what was going on, because I live in a major metro area. So you have different types of helicopters. It could be a police copter. It could be a news copter. It could be a life flight copter. I mean, it could be a private chopper. We even have military ones every once in a while. And so I looked out because I'm nosy and I want to know what's going on. So I step outside. I can hear it still, but I can't see it. Sorry, give me a second. My brain had a brain fart there. And so I step back inside, and about that time, somebody knocks on my door. I thought it was my neighbor across the hall because, when something's going on, we always get together and we gossip about it. And so I step outside, or, open the door, get ready to step outside, and there is this young Hispanic man in my doorway. He's breathing very hard, sweating profusely, and he's holding a motorcycle helmet, like a motocross helmet, and wearing a leather jacket. And he then proceeds to say, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I laid down my bike and I need help." And I said, "Okay, tell me more." And he goes, "And also, I'm running from the police. Can you help me?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry. I cannot help you." And I closed the door and locked it. To be fair, this child, and he was a child, I don't think he was probably 20 yet, or if he was, just barely. I kind of felt bad, but I ain't going to jail for nobody, especially if I don't know you. He was, he never got aggressive or anything like that. Like, I never felt threatened or anything. He was honest, but I'm not getting involved in that. And so I went over and I called the police because I could still hear. I was like, that's what the copters are, is they're trying to find this kid. And I was called 911. Well, because I literally live 100 yards inside the city that I live in, our cell phone tower is a different city's cell phone tower. And so we have to go through their 911 and then they send us over to the correct city, right? So it rings and it's like, we can't answer the call right now because of high call volume. And I'm like, I don't think that's what you're supposed to get when you call 911, but sure. And about that time, I see a police officer pull up, lights and sirens, filing hearing. And he gets out of his car and he's looking around and the kid had taken off. There's a park, a big soccer park that's got multiple fields across from where I live. And there's also over in one of the corners a cricket pitch. And there are several gentlemen that get out on the weekends that play cricket, and they come on Saturday and on Sunday. And he starts walking over there towards them. And so when the officer pulls up, I point out the direction that guy is going in. To be fair to him, he did, he knew he was caught at that point. He laid down, took all of his, jacket and everything off and complied with the officers. Because in about 15 seconds, there was like 15 cars worth of officers here. And I am not exaggerating that. So apparently this kid, and we couldn't quite get the full story. They can't tell us what exactly had happened. But from listening to them talk, the officers, basically he had either stolen the bike or had gotten into a wreck and left the scene. I think he probably stole the bike, then got into a wreck. There was definitely a wreck. There was also like a 20-minute police chase that started further south from here, about 20 miles south from here, and came up this way. So we had 2 or 3 different cities worth of police officers here. Yeah. So I get to write out a witness statement and all of that kind of stuff. I know it was stupid not to check. Because like I said, my neighbor and I, we kind of take care of each other. And so I really thought it was her and didn't check my door. And that is the last time that will happen. So I realized how lucky I was because that could have gone very bad very quickly. So yeah, that was my excitement on Sunday. Happy Easter. Yeah, so whew, I don't even know what to tell y'all about that. Yeah. Well, like I said, I was looking to see, because we do have, I literally live half a mile, if that, off of the highway. So I was thinking it was probably a news copter. Something had happened on the highway. And it was probably one of the news copters. Because I wasn't hearing sirens. I wasn't hearing, seeing or hearing police at first. And so I didn't think anything of it. But yeah, I'll have to be more cautious. And I know that. I listen to enough, true crime podcasts that I should have known better. But there you go. And that kind of stuff happens. So, yeah. Anyway, we've only got about 20 minutes left. And I would like to know what your Wednesday wins are. So, go ahead and put them in. I didn't die this week, which is great. So that's my Wednesday win. I got some of my crafting done that I wanted to get done. So that's my other one. So go ahead and put your Wednesday wins in. And if you don't know what those are, you will, I'm sure, pick it up pretty quickly. But we're going to celebrate with each other. Hello Queen says, I'm surprised he was that upfront with you about the fact that he was being chased by police. I was too. And, in retrospect, that kid was more scared than anything else. Looking back on it, the look on his face, he was pretty scared. Not saying he didn't have reason. That, you know, obviously if the police are chasing you like that, there's a reason. You know, but he was young and he was scared, and I did feel bad, you know, about it. But as a law abiding citizen, there's nothing else I can do about that. So, and they weren't rough with him. They didn't, you know, go to any extreme measures or anything like that. So I'll give the credit to the officers as well. They handled it very well. You know, he was not violent with them. He was not violent with me. And honestly, that's the best that I can say that a situation like that could turn out. So I did hope there was a wreck. So I hope nobody was hurt. And I hope that he, you know, makes better choices in the future that don't land him to running from the police. So, Yvonne finished 2 crochet blankets, not just one, not half of one, not even a square like some of us, but 2. Very nice, Yvonne. You'll have to put up pictures so we can see them. Allie says her Wednesday win is a finished page in her coloring book. Which book are you working out of, Allie? Because you know there's a lot, so you got to tell us that information as well. So yeah, so next week, this week is second Saturday, so we have our retreat roundup this week, which is probably going to be more just a craft and chat style meeting. I'll be sending those emails out tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay. For those of you that are in the Lone Star Retreat chat, those will go out tomorrow for you. Don't forget, if you want to join us on Saturday mornings for our normal craft and chat, that's the weekly one that I host. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time. Everybody is welcome to join. All I ask is that you be respectful of your fellow folks that are on there. And we're going to go 2 rows of black. Let me know, and I will add you to the Who's a What's It. Tia, Wednesday win, is she's not going to go live tonight. Her eyes are swollen shut and everything is blurry. But your win is your mama hasn't seen you this helpless in a while, and she's turned up the love. Tia, I really hope that you get to feeling better. I hope that it's just allergies. However, that is not your Wednesday win. Your Wednesday win, y'all, is that Tia opened her Etsy store this week and knocked it out of the freaking park. That is Tia's Wednesday win. So if you want a Tia pin, you need to go to her Etsy shop. Tia, put your info in if you can see. And let us know what that is, or somebody else can do it for you. And y'all need to go get a pin from Tia. Because, yes. Allie's, Deanne's Wednesday win is she got to see their granddaughter for Easter. Very nice. Amanda, I fought the urge, but I adulted and paid bills, so I didn't buy more crafts. According to all the silly people in my house, that's a Wednesday win. Listen, it's not a fun Wednesday win, but it is a Wednesday win. So I'm very proud of you, Amanda. Saturdays don't have mornings for me. Fair enough. I was not at my best last week because I did not sleep very well. I just woke up last Friday night. I went to bed and I went to sleep just fine. No big deal. It's about 11 o'clock. That's, you know, a little bit earlier than normal, but nothing outside of crazy. And I woke up at 2:30 and had a great nap and couldn't go back to sleep until 7. It was great. And I say that with all the sarcasm in my body. I am not impressed. I am a sleeper. I like to sleep. I do not like my sleep to be interrupted. I hate being woken up. I despise mornings. And yeah. So I ended up going back to sleep at 7. I slept till 10:15, so I was late. And then I was grumpy till I had my first cup of coffee as well. So I completely understand Halloween. We're usually on until about 12 or 1, depending on if I have plans for the day. So you can always join us at a later hour if you would like to. Tia, awesome shop. They are beautiful. They are. Samantha's Wednesday win is her daughter loves the Easter basket and beanie loom knitted for your granddaughter. Very nice. Yeah, Tia, is anybody going to take over for you tonight, or is it just going to be an open space? Because like I said, I didn't go last week, so I completely understand when you can't see nothing not going live. I think people, most of you guys are pretty good about it, but some people get actively angry when we're not live when they expect us to be. And it boggles my mind because we're just people. We have lives and things happen and we get migraines or, we go to the eye doctor and get our eyes dilated and can't see nothing. Or have some kind of allergic reaction like Tia is having over there. And they get actively angry at us. And I'm just like, hey, yo, we're doing this for free. So you need to take a Valium and step off. Yeah. Amanda says she's over the adult life, right? If I could go back to being 14, okay. Well, maybe not 14. Maybe 16 or 17. That was a pretty good age. Where I had some responsibilities, but somebody else paid the bills. Yeah, that was good. That was good. The coloring book is called Color and Frame, 3 books in 1, Animal Seasons and Inspiration. Okay. I haven't seen that one yet, but all right. Tia partied too hard last week. Tia, is that a hangover? Because after 40, or excuse me, 29, those hangovers are nothing to play with. You know that. You need to hydrate. Maybe that's what it is. Get you some Gatorade. People are crazy. Just watch Netflix if your favorite tuber isn't on. Exactly. I don't have time for none of that. I'm listen, y'all. Sometimes I just don't want to. And that's okay. That didn't happen very often. But yeah. It blows my mind that people are well, you're supposed to be there and da-da-da-da-da. And it's I'm supposed to do a lot of things, but those also don't get done. So about that. Anywho, I believe it's allergies, but I'm definitely still hungover. I blame Crystal and Lizzie. Yeah. I'm sure it was their fault. That's what we're going with. Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm. Tia, and I can't be blaming other people for that, baby. That was you. That was all you. If we don't go live, you're getting your money's worth. Exactly, Hello Queen. That's a real good way of putting it. So yeah, I actually have to find my pin for my YouTube. They apparently sent it in November. I don't think I ever got it, but okay. So that I can turn my monetization back on because yeah, that's a thing that happened. And I don't usually talk about that. And the only, money that I get is from my ads that you guys have to watch. But yeah, I'm I don't know where that's at. I hope I didn't throw it away or shred it. That might have happened too. Tia started it with drink and drill. Exactly. Yeah, Tia, I was pretty sure that was your fault. You hosted the drink and drill. And then the family came into town. And I don't think you ever stopped. You got to hydrate at every 2 drinks. I mean, I've taught you better than that, Tia. I'm so sad. So sad for you. So anyway, that is where I'm at this week. It's actually been a pretty good week. I'm in good spirits. I think it has something to do with being able to see the sun more. It is getting warm here. I do have my air conditioner on, even though it's not I could open the door and be fine, but air conditioner. So it hasn't been too terrible. We did finally get our water bill from Chillpocalypse. I was a little worried because my faucets ran for a week. And I know several other people in the building did theirs as well. And so I was concerned our water bill was going to be real high, and it actually only went up like $2. So I was pretty impressed by that. I was like, okay, thank you so much. Totally lost that train of thought. I apologize. Anyway, our water bills weren't that high, so I was happy with that. I did just have to re-sign my lease because it is up at the end of this month. So I did that today. I've got to go over and renew my electric. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Open the door. It's hot. We're not quite as warm as you guys. So like today, I think our high was like 76. It really hasn't been that bad. Let's see, we've got, oh, no, I didn't write down the actual temperatures. So it's been between about 70 and 82-ish here. So not too bad at all. So Tia, we will miss you tonight. I'm going to finish up, see, black. I've got a couple, I'm going to finish this up. It's all going to be grape. Somehow I've underestimated. Oh no, because this only has 28. So I said I would just finish with whatever. So it's basically the purple square here. So it'll be finished with this grape color here all the way to the end. And I'm going to sit and do that now. Hello Queen says it was 70 degrees there today. 70 degrees is like almost the perfect temperature. I prefer about 65 depending on the wind. But yeah, this is cool in Texas. So you take advantage of it until you have to run your air conditioner usually. And that's coming up quicker than we would like. I will say, you guys, that next week I have it's the third weekend. So I have Stitchy group. So my Saturday chat, I won't be there. The next weekend I have the retreat, which is the last weekend of the month. So I won't be in my Saturday chat or the overnight one as well. And the next weekend after that, which is the first weekend in May, I have the Texas Scottish Festival. So if you're in the DFW area, that is up in Decatur. If you want to come see me in person, I will be up there. And so that'll be 3 weekends in a row, you guys, that I'm going to miss the Saturday chat. I'm still going to set it up for you guys. You know how to do that. Somebody else will host it when I'm not there. It's usually whoever the first person in is. So you guys are free to go in, chit chat with each other, do all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of what the rest of my month looks like. I actually am going to go be social and see people in person. I'll be over it. Don't worry. I'll be real over it by the time we're done. But I am looking forward to going and doing something out of my house. I'm very much looking forward to it. So it is about that time. I'm going to let you go a few minutes early because I need to stand up and do some more stretches. And Queen says you have to bust out a new color for today. We frequently still have snow in early April. Well, I think my friend lives in Denver. She said it was like 80 degrees that morning and then it was snowing that afternoon. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Hello, Diamond Queen. How are you? Yeah, Crystal, it's all in my planner. I haven't put any stickers in it, but it's all in my planner. So I've got all of that going on. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, I said that St. Jude would launch April 1st. And then St. Jude was like, but no, because we've got something else that we have to take care of. So St. Jude will not be launching until May 1st. So that'll be the St. Jude pattern. I've already got it finished. Some of you have already seen it, but that is a cross-stitch pattern, and you can also convert it into a diamond painting. I think I'm going to get some blank canvas and work on converting it into a diamond painting using my spare drills. And then that way it's done from stash pretty much for most of it. But that pattern will be released on May 1st. As soon as the websites from St. Jude go live, that's all I'm waiting on. I got the pattern done. I even got it fully finished. I'm literally waiting on the website so that you guys know that your money goes directly to St. Jude and not to me. That's a big thing for me is you guys know when you handle other people's money, you got to be real careful about it. So that is what we're waiting on. So look forward to that. I will do a special video for it. I'll announce it several times in my lives. You're free to share it wherever. the link to donate and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we've got coming up. Thank you guys once again for joining me on a Wednesday. I always appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to spend with me. If you liked what you saw and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you guys will hit that like button, that thumbs up before you leave, I would really appreciate it. Until I see you guys next time, happy stitching, happy diamond painting, till we meet again. Bye, guys.